Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Vicky and today we're going to make these, well, they're my favourite new earrings that I don't want to take out. They are so pretty. So they're quite a big earring. They're made from a peyote bezel with gorgeous Picasso Tila beads and then embellished with some 3mm fire polish before adding this super cute drop that was gifted to me by a friend. I really want these drops in every colour. They are so pretty. But yeah, these are my new favourites and we're going to make these today. So let's take a look at what we need. So we're going to need size 11 Delica, 2 size 15 seeds, though that isn't necessary. You can have just one, whereas I've used 2 because I've used in these ones I've used the bronze, the matte bronze, and then the matte turquoise. You can just use 1 seed if you wish. I've got a 14mm Rivoli, a Tila bead and some 3mm fire polished, followed by some drops. Now I have put 2 different types of drops here. I've got the Raven's Journey ones, which are them ones, and then I've got these really pretty little pearl drops, which I think I might use the pearl with this colourway, whereas the Raven's Journey ones went really nice with that colourway. So okay, let's, oh, I should say, I'm using a size 12 needle. I always forget to say the needle and the thread, but I'm using a size 12 needle and £6 Fireline. All the materials with the right amounts and what you need will be down in the description box. Oh, and lastly, there's a couple of little ear wires. But you could make this into a pendant. This doesn't have to be earrings. It's quite a big piece, so a pendant would look lovely, or even a three V-shaped necklace would also look very pretty. But then let's explore that another time. We'll just make the earrings for today. Okay then, let's get started. So we're going to start by picking up 36 size 11 Delicas, and we're going to drop them right down our thread to the end, leaving about a 10cm tail, and then we're going to just do a double overhand knot just to turn these into a ring, just like that. Double overhand knot. I'm going to pull it tight and then pull it tight again. The way I do the knot is so that I try to have it away from the thread, away from the beads, so that it doesn't get tangled around any beads, and then you can just pull the threads and that will pull the knot so it's tight between the beads. We're now going to take our needle through a couple of the beads to take it away from that knot. Okay, so you should have a little ring of beads, 36 Delicas. Now working in peyote, we're going to pick up 1 size 11 Delica. We're coming out of this one, we're going to miss the next one along on the base row and go through the one after and pull through, and that will cause the new Delica to sit on top of the one that we've missed. Just going to do that again, picking up one, coming out of this one, we're going to miss the next one along and go through the one after and pull tight. So it should start sitting like this, building this little brick wall of beads. We're going to complete that all the way around, just adding in one size 11 Delica as we go. Okay, so I've just added in my last size 11 Delica and I've gone back into the bead I started from. So now I have these 3 rows of Delicas. I have your first row, your second row and your third row. Also, I like to call this the inside row, the middle row and the outside row. And I'm just going to drop down into that Delica on the inside row, or the first row, just like that. Okay, and now we're going to pick up 1 size 15, whichever colour you wish to use first, or if you're only using one colour, it'll just be that colour. Coming out of this Delica on the inside row, I'm going to go straight into the next Delica along on that row. and I'm going to pull that tight, and that is going to make that little size 15 sit between these two Delicas and in front of this one. I'm going to do that again and pick up size 15 and go into the next Delica along on that inside row and pull tight, and there we have it. These little 15s are sitting neatly between these size 11 Delicas. I'm going to do that all the way around. Okay, I'm just about to put my last 15 in, and that will just simply go into the first Delica that I started from, and that will now look like that. We're now going to step into the first 15 that we added and pull our thread through, and now we're going to add another row of 15s between our 15s. So I'm going to pick up my second colour, and just coming out of this 15, I'm going to go straight into the next one along, and that, ooh, let's grab him. And that 15 will now sit between these two 15s, and I'm just going to repeat that all the way around, adding 15s between 15s. Okay, so I'm now putting my last 15 in. So coming out of that 15, I'm just going to go straight into the 15 I started the round from and pulling tight. It should just like that. So it's kind of starting to cup a little bit, this shape. It should be sitting nice and round and quite firm tension. So now we're coming out of that little 15 there. I'm now going to work my way to the other side of my bezel by going through these 3 beads on a diagonal. So I'm coming out of the side row now, or the third row, and I'm going to repeat putting this row of 15s in. So my first colour of 15s, the same way I've done on that side, coming out of that Delica, pick up 1 15 and go into the next one. And then I'm just going to repeat that all the way around, adding in 15s between my outside row of Delicas. And I'm just about to put my last 15 in from this row, going into the 11 we started from, and go straight into that next 15. So the first 15 that we added, we should be coming out of that one now. We're going to pull our little cup tight and pop in our Rivoli, just like that. Give a little pull. So now our little bezel is now surrounding our Rivoli. We're coming out of that first 15 we added, and we're going to add the second row of 15s like we did on the other side in the second colour. So coming out of this 15, we're just going to go into the next one along of the 15s and pull tight, so that 15 is sitting between them two 15s and is on top of our Rivoli. We're going to continue doing that all the way around, keeping a tight tension. Oh, just threw mine and my Rivoli's gone flying, so I'm going to use that other one now, pop that in and pull tight. So as you can see, that if we could keep a good tension, it really does pull these beads up. Okay, complete that all the way around. Just adding in my last 15 into the first 15 I started from, and now giving that a nice pull. You can see that we have our bezeled Rivoli, and these colours look really pretty against it, especially the cream. The cream is really popping against that green. So now I'm just going to deal with this tail thread. Now you can weave it in a few more, adding a few more half-inch knots, but I'm happy with just the one knot, and because I've gone through it quite a lot, I'm just going to get my thread zap and zap that off. Okay, so returning back to our working thread, we're currently coming out of this 15, but we want to be coming out of this middle Delica, so the Delica on the second row. So just go through the next Delica along on the first row and into that one on the middle row. So as you can see, you should be coming out of here. We're now going to pick up 3 15s. I'm using my first colour, and I'm just going to go from this Delica on the middle row straight into the next one on the middle row and pull that tight, so you get this little trio of beads sitting up between these 2 Delicas. I now want to miss this gap, so I'm just going to go into a Delica on my first row and into the next one along on my middle row, because I don't want to add a set of 3 between each 2 Delicas. So now I'm coming out of this next one along on my middle row, and I'm going to pick up 3 15s and go into the next one along after this one, like so, and pull tight. So you can see I've got this gap now between these sets, because I've got this gap between these Delicas. I'm going to leave this little gap so that I come out of the next Delica along on that middle row. So into the first row and then into the next one along on the middle row, like so. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. And now I'm just about to add in my last little 3. So coming out this middle Delica and go into the one after and pull tight. And now you should have this little component with there should be 9 sets of 3 with a gap in between each. So just like that. Now we're going to weave through our beads, because we want to be coming out of this middle 15 of this first set of 3. So up them 2 15s to come out of this middle 15, like so. Now we're going to pick up 1 15, one of our Tila beads, and 1 15, and we're going to go straight into the next middle 15 of this set of 3, straight in like that, and pull tight. Now it might not sit as nice and neat as you want him right now, but don't worry, as we tighten them all in, it will sit in perfect. Oh, that should look like that. Okay, so we're going to do it again. We're going to pick up 1 15, 1 Tila, 1 15, and we're just going to go into the middle 15 of the next set of 3 along, so that now we have 2 in place. Keep a decent tension on these and continue doing that all the way around. 15 Tila, 15. I'm just adding in my last set of 15 Tila, 15, and that'll go into the middle 15 that we started from. So now you have all these Tilas all sitting around like so. Okay, weave through your first 15 Tila, 15, oh no, actually we'll do it this way. Weave through into your first 15, pick up 2 size 11 Delicas and go into the top unused hole of your first Tila. So we've come out of that 15 before our Tila, we've picked up 2 size 11 Delicas and gone into the unused hole of our Tila. We're now going to pick up 2 size 11 Delicas and go into the 15 after our Tila, like so. And then we're going to go straight into the next 15 before our Tila.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
And then we're going to repeat that again. So we're going to pick up 2 size 11 Delicas and go into the top hole, the unused hole of our Tila, like so. And then we're going to pick up 2 size 11 Delicas and come down into the 15 after our Tila. And into the next 15 along before our Tila. And then we're just going to continue doing that all the way around. And I'm just about to put on my last 2 Delicas. So I'm going to be coming out of this one, go into after this one, this Tila, go into the 15 after the Tila, go into the 15 before the next Tila, and then up into the first Delica I added there. So I want to be coming out of this first Delica. We're now just going to join this Delica to this one, so the one that's facing it, by going down the Delica facing it, and back up the one we've just been coming out of. So that joins them 2 together now. As you can see, they're side by side. We're now going to go into the Delica above the one we've just done that stitch on. We're going to pick up 3 15s and come down into the Delica that's facing the one we're coming out of, and it's before this one, like so. We're now going to pick up 1 15, so we've got them 3 15s sat there. We're picking up 1 15 and we're going to go back up this Delica here, this top Delica facing the one we're coming out of, and that will sit that 15 between them. So you have them 2 joined together, and these 2 have 3 15s above them joining them together and 1 15 between them. We're now going to go through our Tila into the next 2 Delicas, and then we're just going to join these 2 again. Now the first one will always join a little bit different to these ones because you would have been coming out of that one automatically, but we're coming out of this first one now, so we are still just joining them with our thread, not adding any beads. So go into that one, coming out of this one here, this one closest to your 15s, go into the one facing, so you're going up that one, back down the one that you've just come out of, the one that is facing the one you're coming out of now, and then up that one again that's facing and into the top one. So as you can see, they're joined together now with that little stitch. We're now going to pick up the 3 15s as we did here and come down that Delica that's facing this one, the one that's before it. Then we're going to pick up the single 15 and go back up that Delica that we've just started from to add them 3 15s, like so. Just give them a little wiggle, and now they're sitting on top like this one is. I'm going to go through the Delica, through the Tila, and down the first 2 Delicas. And we're going to repeat all that again. So join your first 2 bottom Delicas together by just taking your needle up that one and then back down this one, and then up that one again and into the one above it, picking up your 3 15s, come down the one before that was also facing it, pick up a single 15 and go back through that top Delica and through your Tila and the next 2 Delicas along. We're now just going to repeat that all the way around, just adding in them 15s and joining our Delicas. And I'm just adding in that last single 15 between my top Delicas. Okay, so that's how it should look now all the way around. So we're now going to weave through from that Delica through our Tila bead, and we're going to pick up 1 15 and go through the first 2 15s of the first set of 3 here, like so. So you should have this extra 15 sitting between the Tila and the 2 15, well, the 3 15s, but we're only using 2. We're now going to pick up 1 15, 1 3mm fire polished, 1 15, and this middle 15 of this set of 3 is in line with this middle 15 from the little set of 3 we used earlier. I'm adding, before we added our Tilas, we added the sets of 3 onto our bezel. So we're just going to come, and we're going to bring our needle this way because we're coming out of this side of the bead. We're going to come into that 15, like so, like that. So coming out of this side, we're going to come into that 15, pull through, then we're going to pick up 1 15 and we're going to go back up the fire polished, which will make these 2 15s sit either side of that middle 15 from earlier. We're going to pick up 1 15 and go back into the 15 of the 3 15s on the top, on the edge of your piece, and that will also make these 15s sit either side of this middle 15. Now go down into the next 15 of the set of 3, which would be the last one. Pick up 1 15 and go through the Tila. Like so. So now you should have 5 beads on this edge, the 2 new ones that we've just added, and these 3 15s with the middle one joining here to the one on the bezel with the fire polish bead. So we're going to do that again. We're going to pick up 1 15, we're going to go through the next 2 15s to the middle of the 3, pick up 1 15, 1 fire polished, 1 15, take our needle round and through the middle one of the 3 that sit on the bezel. Ooh, let's not get caught on our threads up. Pick up 1 15 and go back up the fire polished, and pick up 1 15 and go back into the middle 15 of the set of 3 and into the next one along of that set of 3. So you come on to the last one, pick up 1 15 and go into the Tila, and we're just going to repeat them, that little bit of fire polished embellishment, and adding these 15s all the way around. Okay, so I've just added in my last fire polished and my last 15. So now I want to be coming out of that 15 we've just used when we were attaching our fire polish. So the middle 15 on the 3 that sit on the bezel, so under there. I want to be coming out of that one, and I'm gonna come down them so I can face anti-clockwise because that's the way I like to work. So I'm just going to go through my Tila, through the 3 15s, which is now the one that we added between the Tila and the 3 15s. So 1 2 3, because you should have a set of 5 there now. I'm going to come down the 15 and the fire polished, but then because of the way I work, I'm going to go into this fire polished on the right hand side, and then into the 15 on the middle 3 on the bezel, the middle of the 3 on the bezel. A little bit tight, pull it tight, there we go. So I'm coming out of that 15 now. Now I'm going to pick up a 15, a fire polished, a 15, and I'm going to go into that next middle 15 of that set of 3 that's sitting on the bezel, like so. I'm going to go up the 15, the fire polished, and the 15 that we added previously, like so. And then I'm going to pick up 3 15s
I don't know that.
and come down the next 15, the fire polished, and the 15. Might be getting a little bit tight, like so. You can see I'm coming down the 15, the fire polished, the 15. Pull tight to get these little 3 beads sitting above the 2 on top of the fire polished. And we're just going to go back into that middle 15 of the 3 15s that are sitting on the bezel, like so. So now we have this 15 fire polish 15 sitting here between the 15s on the 3s on the bezel, and this extra 3 15s sitting above the 2 on our fire polish. So we're not touching these 5 15s that sit behind. So we're going to do that again. Pick up a 15, a fire polished, a 15, and go into the next middle 15 of the set of 3 that are sitting on your bezel. Then up the 15, the fire polished, and the 15. Like so. Pick up 3 15s, come down the next 15 on the above the fire polished, through the fire polished, and into the 15 that's below the fire polished. There we go. And into the middle 15 of the set of 3. Now we're just going to continue that all the way around. Adding in your 15 fire polished 15 before adding in your 3 15s above your fire polished. I'm just adding in my last 15 fire polished 15, and that's going into the little 15, middle 15 at the set of 3 on the bezel that we started from. I'm going to go up my 15 fire polished 15 from the previous round, pick up my 3 and come back down my 15 fire polish 15 from the previous round. And now I need to go back into that middle 15 from the set of 3 on the bezel. It might be a bit tight, so just be aware. Take it slowly and gently. Okay. Oh, come on. I'm just going to grab a pair of pliers to help me with that, because I can't get that needle through. But if I get a pair of pliers, I can get more grip. Or not. Oh, there we go. Whew, that was a panicky one then. Okay, so now I'm coming out to that middle 15 of that set of 3 15s above the bezel. I'm going to go through my 15 fire polish 15, them ones that we've just added in that previous round. Okay, and now I'm going to pick up my second colour 15 and go through the next 15 fire polish 15 from the previous ones we've just added. So straight into there, just like that. Oop, that's not caught. And that's putting a 15 of the other colour between them 2 15s either side, so you're fire polished. I'm just going to do that again. 15, go through the 15 fire polish 15 from the previous round, like so. So you can see we've got these 15s sitting here And we're just going to do that all the way around. Okay, I've just added in my last 15. I now want to work my way back up to be coming out of this middle 15 of this set of 5 beads that are between my Tilas. So to do that, I would have to go back into the middle 15 that is now sitting, so this 15 that's now sitting behind our other colour 15, so the one that's on the bezel, before weaving up through to come up our Delicas and into our middle 15 up there. So you may find it's a little bit tight and a little bit awkward. Just do your best, or alternatively, if like me you're getting a bit low on thread, you can add another thread. I'm just going to turn to the back, just push my thread through, and I'm just turning to the back to do it, just because it'll be a bit easier to see where I'm going. There we go. And then into that one there. There we go. So I'm now coming out of that middle 15 of that set of 3 that sat over our Delicas. And I'm literally just going to now make the little loop for our ear wire. So pick up 5 Delicas, coming to the back, it's easier to see. Coming out to this 15, middle 15, we're just going to go back into it from the other side and into our first Delica. We're now going to pick up 115, and I'm going to use my second colour and go into the next Delica along, and then I'm going to repeat that until I come to this one. So adding in Delicas between Delicas around this little loop. So you should have 4 15s in place before going back into the 15 we started from. Okay, and pull tight. So now we have this little loop sitting above our one of our little picos, our little 3 beads picot there. Right, so now we're going to weave our way down. My needle's come off my thread's so short, I'm going to add some more in to do this bit. But we're going to weave our way down to come out of the middle 15 of that 315 above our Delicas, the ones that make up the 5 on, well, this side I guess will be first. If you're, oh no, this side will be first if you're working clockwise now, but depending on which way you work really. So we're going to come out of that middle 15 of the 5 15s at the bottom. I'm just going to add a little bit of thread in, so just bear with me. So I'm just weaving through my edge beads to come out of that middle 15 of that 3 that sat above the Delica. So here. Okay, I'm now going to pick up 3 15s. Let's go with my second colour first. 2 Delicas, 1 15 of my other colour, 1 fire polished, and then I'm going to go with this drop. Let's see what this one looks like. The pearl drop. And then I'm going to go with another fire polished and a 15, my first colour. Okay, so you can see I've got 3 15s, 2 Delicas, a 15, fire polished, drop, fire polished, oh, and the other one's still on the needle, and a 15. I'm now going to go back up the fire polished, the drop, the fire polished, and the 15. Pull that tight, so it should sit like that. Should be coming out of this 15 that's above the first fire polish we added. I'm going to pick up 2 Delicas, and 3/15. And I'm going to go into the middle 15 of the set of 3 that sat above these Delicas, like so. And that will cause that drop to sit in line with the loop on the top of our earring, and it sits really nicely in place. So that is how you should be looking now. Please ignore all the extra little threads from adding in. But yes, I think that is a really good colourway. I really like that. I hope that you've enjoyed this, making this earring. We're just gonna, once we've weaved off our threads and reinforce this join, if you weave around your beads until you can come back to reinforce that, to give it a bit more stability, that would be great. And then you will just use pliers to open your ear wire, depending on your ear wire of choice, or a bail, or just a jump ring, depending if you're making it into a pendant, and add that to our little loop, so that then you have an earring like that. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Again, there's plenty more content to come. I think I'm going to go with a bracelet next, possibly, we'll see. But yes, if you've enjoyed the content, please subscribe to my channel. That I would very much appreciate that. And I will see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye now.